Yo, what's up, YouTube? It's J Dean, Dean of Music, and I'm back with another video. And today I want to talk about one of my favorite artists from that Rockefeller era, that legendary Rockefeller era. But today I want to talk about my favorite album from him, which is Beanie Sigel, The Reason. Feeling godly when I walk through the building, I got it all. From the confidence escaping my feeling, it's time to ball. To me, Beanie Sigel, The Reason is a classic to me. I don't throw that word around loosely, but to me it's a classic. It's only like 2 songs on there that I don't like, and today I'm gonna just go through the songs and put you on to some songs that you might not know about, because this album didn't particularly sell the best. It didn't sell as much as his first album, which was The Truth. That album went gold. This album has yet to go gold, even in the streaming era. And I'm gonna give y'all a little fun fact. Rockefeller didn't sell that many records. I think the only people that were selling like platinum status on Rockefeller before like Kanye came in was Jay-Z and Cam. I think Freeway went gold, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna look that up real quick. Hold on. Yeah, Freeway went gold, Cam'ron went platinum, and that was really about it. Beanie Sigel got 1 platinum album, but before Kanye, the only 2 artists on Rockefeller that went platinum was Jay-Z and Cam'ron. Now, once again, you shouldn't dictate whether you like music based on how much it sold. How much it sold has nothing to do with how great the art is, which is The Reason. The Reason didn't go gold. It sold like 100,000 the first week. I think 150K the first week. But to me, it's my favorite Beanie Sigel album. The Becoming is my second favorite Beanie Sigel album. That The Becoming is actually like sequenced better and way more put together, but I love the songs on The Reason way more than I love the songs that's on The Becoming. So let's go through it. The production on this album is mostly Just Blaze. Kanye got a couple beats. Rick Rock, No ID, and yeah. So those are basically the people that produced on this record. This album was released on June 26th. 2001, not too far removed from Blueprint. It predates it by almost 3 months, and you could tell with the production style that this was like their setup of the Blueprint in a sense. Like the production is more soulful beats on here. That was the aim that Jay-Z wanted for the Blueprint, so it kind of worked out that way. In an interview, Just Blaze has said that when Kanye came and gave like those 4 beats that were on the Blueprint to Jay-Z, then Jay-Z wanted the entire album to be soulful beats, and then he told all the in-house producers at Rockefeller, which was Just Blaze and Bink, he told them basically, I want a lot of soul samples on this album. And Beanie Sigel, The Reason, has a lot of soul samples on there, so it kind of lays like the foundation out for Blueprint. But so it was released a couple months before Blueprint, and I also saw in the interview that Beanie Sigel said that Jay-Z always dropped like near his albums, and this is the one where it's true, in a sense, right? But anyway, first song on here is Nothing Like It, which is fire. This beat is produced by Kanye West, and this beat is fire. It's a perfect way to start the album off. It's a very soulful sample on this record. Fire record. And then you got Beanie Mac Bitch. Sigel was the name that they gave me. Beanie, which was produced by Just Blaze. It's a fire beat, and I think Beanie Sigel spit like 1 or 2 of these verses on the radio before this album had came out, which were artists would do a lot. They would go out to the radio and freestyle, and it'd normally be verses from the album, or it'd be verses from songs that didn't make the album, but you would hear the verses a couple months or a week or a month or 2 or weeks before the album had came out. Beanie Mac is one of those. He spit some verses on, I think, Flex. I can't remember the radio station. It probably was Hot 97, but this is one of my favorite Beanie Sigel songs, period. And every time I hear this song, it reminds me of State Property. Every time I hear this song. Sigel was the name that they gave me. Beanie, I'm about to take over the city of Philly like John Street. Nigga hacks all y'all fiends. They call me Chef Boyard Beans. Beanie Crocker, cook coke proper. Riding Mount Flowers, ziffing it up. Coke spot running by the hour, shifting it up. Beanie Sigel had this going for him, right? Beanie Sigel was lyrical in his way. lyrical with multis, and also Beanie Sigel had that thing that you had to have in the 90s and in the 2000s, especially in this like heavy hardcore gangster rap. You had to have that believability, and Beans had that believability. He had that conviction in his voice where you believe everything that Beanie Sigel said on his records, no matter how outlandish or how crazy it was. And Beanie Sigel also said on Memphis Bleak podcast, he said that he was in New York for like a long time in the projects just so he could roll 4-5-6 and dice. If you don't know what 4-5-6 is, it's CeeLo. You know, you play 3 dice and 4-5-6 trumps a lot of the, but you know, anyway, that doesn't matter. But he wanted to roll 4-5-6 because he said it in a record that they recorded prior to that he wrote a 4-5-6 in New York projects. So that's what Beanie Sigel said. But Beanie Sigel definitely had that believability at that time period on lockdown. Beanie, Mac Bitch, that's a 10 out of 10 record right there, produced by Just Blaze. And then So What You Saying, which is, if you don't know the original beat of So What You Saying, it's an EPMD beat that was I believe released in the 90s, and this was also produced by Just Blaze. And this song is featuring Memphis Bleak. Now, this song right here isn't on streaming. It is not on streaming, and this is why physical media is a real big deal, because this song isn't on streaming. I'm guessing because I don't know if EPMD cleared it or the original people that EPMD sampled didn't clear it. I don't know the story of that, but it's not available on streaming, but it's on a physical disc. So there you go. And that song is fire too. But my favorite song with Beanie Sigel and Memphis Bleak is Who Want What. That's on The Truth. I feel like they both went crazy on Who Want What. But So What You Saying is a good record. It isn't as great as Beanie or Mac Bitch, but it's still a good record. Memphis Bleak has some dope lines on there. And I just want to say, so I don't know what it is. I went through Memphis Bleak catalog not too long ago, and his catalog isn't as strong as Beanie Sigel's, or he doesn't have a great album like Freeway has, or even a dope album that Cam has. I don't know what it is about Memphis Bleak. The music just doesn't connect as much as Beanie Sigel's did, or Freeway's did, or even Cam's at that time, or even Jay-Z. I just don't know what it was with Memphis Bleak. I can't really pinpoint that out. But then you got Get Down, and this is also produced by Just Blaze. So Just Blaze being the in-house producer, he was at Baseline, so he was the in-house producer. Kanye was just coming in there, giving them beat CDs and then going about his way. But Just Blaze and Bink were the in-house producers for Rockefeller at the time. So Get Down, another fire record. I don't know who does the scratches on Get Down, but you did your job. And I'm guessing this produces, I guess this is a sample of Quincy Jones, because Quincy Jones is credited as a writer on the song. But another fire record too. Get Down. Beanie Sigel went crazy on this one. And then you got I Don't Do Much, right? Which I Don't Do Much, to me, reminds me of my childhood. My brother used to play this song a lot, so I heard the song a lot in my life. But I like that he named the song I Don't Do Much, because the beat isn't really, it isn't like over the top produced or all these elements that's going on with it like Get Down or Beanie. But I Don't Do Much is a very laid back beat. It is something in that beat that I like very much. It's like this sound that goes in one ear and then shifts to the other very nicely. And this song is produced by Rick Rock. So another fire record by Beanie Sigel. And then you got For My Niggas, also produced by Rick Rock. I would have thought this was produced by Daz Dillinger, because he's on the record, but this is produced by Rick Rock. Now, this is where I don't like this song. It was on a great stretch. It was like 5 songs of straight fire, but I don't like For My Niggas. And this was that time period in rap where artists would make music that sounds like a different coast, to grab that attention from that coast and to sell records on that coast, which that's perfectly fine. People was doing that all the time back in the day. Mace did it on Harlem World. He got a song with 8 Ball and MJG. People were doing it all the time, trying to get that other audience So they would have beats on their albums or songs on their albums from people that was from the West or people that was from the South or people that was from the East, just to grab that audience and just to sell more records. Jadakiss did it on Kiss of Death. Artists did it a lot back in the day. So I'm not mad at Beanie Sigel for this song, but personally, I don't like it. And then you got Watch It Bitches, which is produced by 88 Keys. Watch your bitches, y'all walks like a pimp, talks like a Mac, spent lobster and shrimp, you could tell by the hat. Now, Beanie Sigel wasn't the greatest chorus writer, but he can make a decent chorus, which I like a lot. Beans can make a decent chorus, and he was lyrical on top of that. So Watch It Bitches, and then he also starts the song off with the infamous line from Goodfellas, "From the beginning, I knew I always wanted to be a gangster." Classic Goodfellas movie. If you've never seen that movie, please watch that movie. But Watch It Bitches, another dope record. And then you got Think It's a Game featuring Jay-Z, Freeway, Young Chris. One of the best songs on the album. One of the best beats on the album because the beat is so smooth. Like, Jay-Z was perfect on this record. I know I made a video where I said Beanie Sigel got the best of Jay-Z on Streets Is Talking, but I feel like Jay-Z got the better of Beanie Sigel on Think It's a Game. Even though Beanie Sigel verse is fire, let's just state this: there's no whack verse from Beanie Sigel on this entire album. Let's just get that out the way. But Jay-Z coming there so smooth, right? He said, they call me Hove the Hustler, drove customers crazy from the late 80s, early 90s. Now you can find me, girlie behind me, holding my mink up, ice pinky ring in the air, drinking my drink up. Like, he was just flowing on this so perfect. The flow that Hove found on this record was amazing. And then Freeway was amazing on this record too. And then Young Chris was insanely nice to be like, he was like 16, 17 at this time. Like, he was crazy nice at this time. Salute to Young Chris. Everybody did they great job on this record. The chorus is even smooth. Think it's a game to them games. No, think it's a game till them things come out. I bang out, feel your brains hang out. It's one of those records where it's a person that has a melody on the chorus, but they singing some extra gangster shit. A lot that used to happen in the 2000s, late 90s. That's what niggas like. And this song is produced by Bernard Parker, aka Big Demi. I actually don't know who that is. I have no idea who that is. Wow. But anyway, it's a great record. Think It's a Game. This is one that I recommend a lot. It's like my third favorite song on this entire album. Like, if back in the day, if I'm playing the CD, I might, if I just want to hear a couple songs, I'm gonna play Beanie Mac, and then I might skip all the way to Think It's a Game. But Think It's a Game is amazing. And then we're on to my favorite beat on the album, Man's World. Now, this is a James Brown sample, and if you haven't heard James Brown, Man's World, which Beanie Sigel, well, I ain't gonna say Beanie Sigel, No ID used for this beat for Beanie Sigel. Take your uncultured swine ass to Spotify, Apple Music, whatever you listen to, and look up that song. It's an amazing song with a great story. Great writing on it. Rest in peace to James Brown. But No ID produced this beat, and he chopped the hell out of this beat. Now, I'm a producer. I'm a sucker for soul samples, but I also, when I listen to the chops and how he blended a lot of the vocals in with the chops that he had, No ID doesn't get talked about enough as being one of the greatest producers of all time. No ID needs to get his flowers, and I'm giving him his flowers because it's a bunch of No ID beats that are fucking amazing. And when you hear them, you like, oh my God, everything fits so perfectly in pocket. And Beanie Sigel, you know, Beanie Sigel turned it into some street shit because the original Man's World, James Brown said, this is a man's world, but it would be nothing without a woman or a girl. There would be nothing. You know what I'm saying? So the James Brown song is very different from Beanie Sigel song, which I have no problem with. But this is what I like about producers that can really chop and make the beat their own. I hate when producers get a sample and all they do is do one big ass loop, or they don't really chop anything. They don't make it their own. They don't spice it up. They take like 40 seconds of the song, loop that, and then throw 808s on top of it. I hate when they do that. It doesn't add anything new to the sample. You just threw an 808 on top of the already existing song. You didn't chop it to make it your own or to make it sound different. You just threw 808s on top of that bitch. I hate when producers do that. That's my little rant. But No ID, Man's World by Beanie Sigel, a 10 out of 10 song. One of my favorite Beanie Sigel songs of all time. Stop blood clot crying, you dying. This is a man's world, kid, don't stick down. No, this is a man's world, nigga, sit down, you girl niggas. This is a man's world. Beanie Sigel wrote this song perfectly to where a lot of his bars blended right into that James Brown sample. Salute to Beanie Sigel. Don't really get enough credit, man. Beanie Sigel in his prime, I feel like this album to be coming was Beanie Sigel's prime, by far. Well, I would say no. I would say Rock La Familia to be coming is Beanie Sigel's prime. I mean, not pride, but prime. Beanie Sigel doesn't get credit for being a great songwriter as well too. Like, yeah, Beanie Sigel got songs where he talking about a lot of street shit and doing all this gangster shooting up type shit, right? But his songwriting ability to be able to stay on topic with like certain songs, like I Don't Do Much is a beautifully written song, right? Because he's just talking about I don't do much, and he just explained, like, he's just saying I chill and do all this, but I can do that if I have to, but other than that, I don't really do much. But the songwriting to me was really dope to me. But Man's World, 10 out of 10 song. And then you got Gangsta Gangsta, produced by Kanye West. I didn't know that was produced by Kanye West. I'm just now finding that out. Kanye to me is the greatest rap producer of all time. I said it. And this song features Kurupt. Kurupt is just a little bit on the chorus. And Gangsta Gangsta's second verse, he spit on Rhapsody. You don't know what Rhapsody is? Take your uncultured ass to YouTube, uncultured swine ass to YouTube, and look up Rhapsody. Rhapsody to me was amazing. It was another top 10 countdown, but it was kind of akin to 106 in Park, but it was more focused on the artist to me. And then at the end of the episode of Rhapsody, because basically the whole thing was an interview. Basically, just like 106 in Park, if it was the artist up there, the whole thing was an interview, but it was no crowd at Rhapsody. 106 in Park, it was a crowd and the artist would interact with the crowd, but Rhapsody, it was just Big Tigger or whoever else was down there, and it was just the interview the whole time, and then they would play videos in between, and then at the end of Rhapsody, they would have a freestyle. Big Tigger was actually out rapping some of them niggas, and he was freestyling, but Big Tigger was rapping off the top of the dome. But Beanie Sigel, I ain't gonna say Beanie Sigel, but the rapper would spit a freestyle or probably a verse off the album or a verse off a song we never heard. And that would be at the end of the episode. Then it would go on 106 in Park. And if they was on the album run 9 times out of 10, they was on 106 in Park too. But anyway, that's Rhapsody. But he spit the second verse on Gangsta Gangsta on Rhapsody. And I'm not gonna lie, at first I didn't like this song. But then I heard that verse that he spit on Rhapsody probably like 6 years ago, and I was like, oh no, I gotta go back and what verse, what song was that from? So I had to go back and listen, and then I actually ended up liking this song. I always liked the part where he said, because he said it was so much conviction. He said, catch you playing craps, calm, reverse, I'm circling back. Man, I stay up in the dice jam. I got a nice chain, a nice ring, trying to come up on some nice change, thinking the nigga might swing like it's a mic thing. Pull out the right thing, show him it's a Spike thing, make him do the right thing like a Spike Lee joint. Bang that pussy in his right knee joint, come on. And he said it was so much conviction that it was just like, I feel like Beanie actually hit a nigga with a bat in the knee before he recorded that verse. But anyway, that song is fire too. And then you got Tales of a Hustler. I don't like this song, and this song is produced by Sha Shelf. I don't like this song for the simple fact of Sparks. I don't like Sparks. I never really liked Sparks. He be off beat a lot. His bars don't have that punch to him. They don't connect. And sometimes he doesn't have great breath control. At this time, he didn't have great breath control. I don't really like Sparks, right? Tales of a Hustler is cool. I think this beat was also on State Property as well. Beanie Sigel verse is fire, but you got Sparks that got the first verse and he does the chorus. And I don't really much like the beat, so that's like 75% of the song. Bean's verse is fire though. So I don't like that song on this album. And then you got Mom's Praying, which is the second best beat on this album, right? The second best beat on this album. and it's produced by Just Blaze. Now, Mom's Praying sound like something that could have been on Blueprint. Mom's Praying, Nothing Like It, sound like songs that could have been on the Blueprint. And this song is, this is what I'm talking about, Beans having a pen and can tap into different pockets. Even though Beans was rapping about a lot of street shit, a lot of gangster shit on this album, he's giving you that little glimpse into his life with Mom's Praying. And one of my favorite lines is where he says, I love two women in this world. He said, the one that birthed me and the one that birthed her. Salute to Beans for writing that. And he got the perfect artist on this song, which is Scarface. And I'm not gonna lie, Beanie Sigel and Scarface is like 3 for 3 at this time, where with Scarface and Beanie Sigel collaborated, even though Jay-Z is on 2 of those records. But Scarface was perfect for this record because Scarface can also give you that pain too. So Mom's Praying, a 10 out of 10 record. Beanie Sigel tapping into his personal side, which I like. It gives a breakup in the album. And then you got Still Got Love for You. And this song is kind of like a sequence, not a sequence, it's kind of like a sequel to the song that's on Rock La Familia, where Beanie Sigel and Jay-Z are talking about their fathers at the end of the album. I forgot the name of that song, but it's like a sequel, right? Now, this song isn't on Spotify. I don't know if it's on Apple Music or not, but it's not on Spotify. And I just re-listened to this album today just to have fresh thoughts. And it went from Mom's Praying and straight into the last song, I believe. I'm gonna check. Yeah. This song is not on Spotify. Yeah, this song is not on Spotify. Still Got Love for You isn't on Spotify. And this song is also produced by Just Blaze. And I don't know if I mentioned, but Just Blaze produced Mom's Praying. And this song features Jay-Z and Rail, which Rail was signed to Rockefeller at the time. You might not have heard too much for Rail, but Rail did a lot of singing on some of the choruses for Rockefeller. And I guess the Isaac Hayes estate didn't clear the song for streaming or whatever, but I don't know. It's not on Spotify, but it's a cool song. It isn't one of my favorites, but it's a cool song. And then you got What's Your Life Like Too, which the first one was on The Truth. And this is fire. This song is fire. And Beans gives the actual, like, sort of like a story, like on the last verse about a dude getting locked up and then the Fiend being the actual informant and then other people coming and taking his stuff after he get locked up. So Beans actually gives you a story on the last verse, which is, Beans touched on a lot of things in his album as far as like pen wise, and he was starting to really expand his pen more on this album. He had a full mature flourish pen on Becoming, but this album is like he was finally getting it, because this was the era. It still was artist development, but a lot of them didn't, their first albums weren't the greatest albums. Like it was either second or third albums that were their best albums, because they would be under somebody for like a year or two, then it would come and make their own records. But that was that time period where some of the artists' first and second albums were their best albums, but then you had them outliers where their first album was their best album. So you just never knew. But What's Your Life Like Part 2 is fire, and this is also another beat that sounds like it could have been on Blueprint. And Just Blaze made this beat as well. I think Just Blaze got like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He produced half the album damn near. Just Blaze produced half the album damn near. So Just Blaze was in that Baseline Studios working his ass off. But That's the Reason by Beanie Sigel, an amazing album, dope bars, dope beats. What more can you want? You know what I'm saying? So, and actually great, and I ain't gonna say amazing songwriting, but great songwriting from Beanie Sigel. So I ain't gonna lie, it's an underrated gem, because this album didn't sell as much as The Truth. But I feel like if you really listen to Beanie Sigel, then you talk about The Reason a lot, and you talk about The Becoming a lot. But it's one of the best albums from that Rockefeller era. And if you haven't heard it, please listen to The Reason by Beanie Sigel, and leave a comment if you also enjoyed this album at the time it came out or later in your life. And also leave a comment if you didn't enjoy this album, and tell me why you didn't enjoy this album. I read the comments. But it's been J Dean, Dean the Music. See you next time.